I hear a lot of people say, own your own business, work for yourself, start a business, right? Well, yeah, that sounds good, but when you start a business, it takes a lot of money to get up and running. Plus, it takes a lot of time that you'll be working to get that building or get that business where it needs to be. If you get an apartment building, you got to pump all kind of money in it just to buy it, and then you got to put a lot of money in it to get it to where you need it. If you own a restaurant, you got to buy all kind of equipment and spend so many hours out of the day, 6 to 7 days a week working there, and just for a small margin of a profit, or any kind of business. It's going to take a lot of money to get that thing up and running. But to me, the quickest way to be part of a business is to own an asset. And my favorite assets to own is everybody needs a house to live in. So if you can get a house at the right price, that would be the thing to do. Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, you can rent, but rents are going through the roof. And people say, well, you know what? You got to pay taxes, insurance, and all this stuff with a house. Yeah, you do, but you also got to pay it when you rent from someone because they just put all that in your rent. So yeah, you are paying part of the insurance, the upkeep, and everything else when you get an apartment. The next thing would be, and let me say this, a house is a non-liquid asset, which means that you won't be able to tap it in case of an emergency. But we're going to get to that. The next thing, a car. Everybody needs to be able to get around. And if your car is paid for, you good to go. And all you have to do is make sure you change the oil and do the regular upkeep on it. And that car lasts you forever if it's a decent car. The next one is a rental property. A rental property could be liquid if everyone in your property is paying their share of the expenses and you get some type of income once all the bills are paid. A rental property, that can work. Am I a big fan of rental properties? No, not really. I used to be a landlord, and I can tell you, one bad tenant can throw a monkey wrench into your whole thing, and you'll lose that whole year's worth of profits if that person stopped paying rent. One of my favorites are stocks. I love stocks. Stocks, you again, now you own part of a business, but you don't have to do all the heavy lifting. You got management people that handle the day-to-day operations. All you have to do is just buy stocks. That's it. You just purchase, shares of stocks, and you're good to go. Bonds is another one. And one of my favorites is the SGov. It's the 3-month short-term treasury bond. And the yield on that is 4.48, which means you're not going to make a lot of money, but you're making some money. If you put your money under your mattress, you're not making anything. So at least with this, it's safe, and you guarantee 4.48 yield on that, which is good for 3 months, and then you can take your money out and buy some stocks with it, or one of my other favorites, ETFs. Now you got some really good ETFs. You got the IVW S&P 500 Growth Fund, and that's trading at about 100 and I think $106 or something like that. So you're getting a bucket full of different companies in there that I think you'll really like. And the other one is the SFY Select 500. That's another good ETF. So check both of these out and tell me what you think of that. And then my other favorite is a 401k. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You got the ETF Grayscale for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is trading at what, $100,000, and not too many people I know got $100,000. They don't even have it and they total assets $100,000. But if you like, cryptocurrency, you can go to Grayscale and buy Bitcoin, and I think it's trading at per share. I think it's about $86 a share, which is actually decent. If you just want to get in the Bitcoin game, and then you got one of my favorites, which is the 401k. 401k is good because you don't have to do anything with that. Let all the professionals do all the work, and they're going to pick out the stocks and things like that. However, my favorites in the 401k is I do like 40% in blue chip, 40% in S&P 500, and 20% in growth, and that's about it. So, yeah, you can go out and buy a company and start your own business and all that, but all that takes a lot of money to do that. The easiest way to get in the game to me is really, buy stocks, bonds, ETFs, or 401ks. And to me, you can't go wrong. Do you have to keep your full-time job? Yes, you got to keep that 9 to 5 job. Everybody can't work for themselves. And, if you can work more to sock away some money in these investments, you're good to go, because these are liquid assets. A house is a non-liquid asset, meaning that you would have to jump through a lot of hoops to get money out of it, and it's not even worth it unless it's really important. Now, a car, everybody need. I need a car. I got to be able to get around. But if you can, get a car that you can pay for and it's in decent running shape, that's all you need. You don't need that $1,000 car note. And a rental property, if that's your thing, being a landlord, good luck to you. But that's a lot of headaches if you don't know what you're doing. But, if that's what you like, hey, great. So that's all I have for you. Again, this is Kay, back at it with a new video. Take care, guys.